Hey everyone, today we're going to be working on some Python, some React, and the AWS SDK. It's going to be a good time. CDK, not SDK, although I guess we're also using the SDK. So I'm going to put on my favorite music to code to, which is the Nazy Radio on Spotify. It's just great. It's a mix of like Indian rap and some music that just sounds has their vibe but isn't Indian, so it's really an interesting mix. All right. Also, shout out to OBS, man. Their software's awesome. I was using Streamlabs before, and it kind of sucked compared to this. Okay. So let's see where we are. I just installed all these dependencies. So now we gotta see. Okay, so I ran the new deployment. What I've been doing is I've been updating this API stack, which has Fargate service, and I want to put the Fargate service load balancer behind CloudFront. So it wasn't working because of this SSL error, which I might still have open some here. So CloudFront's getting this weird 502 error, and I think it's because I have this public load balancer I had it equals to true, and I'm guessing that there was, because it actually was presenting this Route 53 API certificate, which is invalid because it's actually for the root domain, and I haven't set up the DNS correctly. So I just removed the HTTPS requirement at the load balancer, and then I'm going to handle HTTPS at the CloudFront layer, which will also help because I got hit with like a $300 charge from my NAT gateways being exposed to the internet without CloudFront, and Amazon was like, "Yeah, that's your problem. Sorry." So I'm gonna put in CloudFront, and hopefully that'll help reduce that, because I'm sure there was some kind of weird DDoS capability because of a malformed request or something. So it's one cool thing about the SDK is that it confirms when you make security changes. So in this case, it's telling me that I'm changing a rule from allowing SSL traffic in a security group, SSL traffic, and I'm switching it to allowing normal HTTP traffic, which is interesting because I don't think Terraform would have ever warned you of something. You might have made that change accidentally. You know, it might have been done by some abstraction, and you didn't even realize it was going to happen. So it's really nice that it tells you that. So see, it's really just creating CloudFront. That's one of my favorite parts about the CDK over Terraform, is that it's just using CloudFormation in the background. And that means a number of things, really useful things, but one of the coolest things is that if you close your laptop after it kicks off the process, like now it's in update in progress, after that you can close your laptop and it'll keep working. Or like if something, there's like no failure on your end, it's just sitting here waiting right now, which is really cool compared to Terraform, because I've been waiting for Terraform to run, and it's like, okay, I'm still here 20 minutes later and nothing's happened, and I'm kind of scared. Okay, so that's updating. So let's see, let's go in. Oh, okay, well that's not good. So what happened? It didn't like something. Cannot update a stack when a custom named resource requires replacing. Oh my god. Okay. So there are definitely some maybe less good things about this compared to Terraform, because I feel like Terraform would have been able to do that. So you know what we're gonna do? It's because I have this load balancer name, I think. I don't think it's necessary. I don't really care what it's called. So I'm just gonna take that out. Yeah, I really did not like that. Okay. Try it again. So I don't, the only challenge is now I hope I don't have some dangling, I hope it deletes the load balancer, is what I'm getting at. Alright, that's running. this on. Oh my god. My computer runs unbelievably slow sometimes. Not sometimes, all the time. Using the computer. It's like actually a struggle to use it sometimes. Maybe it's just Firefox, who knows? So let's see what's going on over here. Can't tell, did that happen again or is that the same failure? Oh, it's still building. Oh my god, computer's struggling right now. Alright, so it built. It has to build the front end every time, unfortunately. Okay, 132 seconds to synthesize, which is not so bad. Should probably bring this up a little bit. Okay, again, oh, you couldn't even see this before. I'm a terrible host. Maybe make this a little smaller. It's just like in the wrong spot. There you go. Okay, so again, it's trying to replace that same thing again, so nothing exciting there. And then I'm hoping this should work. Okay, so we're creating the CloudFormation changes. Let's see what's going on. They haven't showed up yet. This is really annoying. Trying to get so you can see everything on the screen. Alright, so now we should see some updates in here. Cool. What failed before? Just fire drill API. Okay. Oh, here. Fire drill service. Looks like it worked. No, it was last time. Okay, so unsure at this time. There we go. Okay. So new, so that's the load balancer. Let's go see what it's up to in the load balancer. Oh my god, these little tabs. I don't want to accidentally open anything sensitive here. Okay, I'm just gonna open a new one. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh my god, I gotta turn this off. Amazon's probably so happy that I'm leaving all these things on accidentally. Okay, so we need to go to load balancers and see what it's up to over here. Okay, so it's fun naming. Real bummer. It's probably gonna leave that one there. Why does it say internal? It's a little concerning that it prefixed it with internal because there's nothing internal about it. Oh, I guess I don't know. No, I don't know. Scheme internal. Oh, that might be okay actually. If CloudFront can resolve it. Oh, so let's go see CloudFront because I'm assuming that this is going to change. Yep, to this new domain. Cool. Okay. Well, so what that means is, in theory, this might work now. Okay, different problem. Okay, that's a whole different error though. So that could be good. That could be good. I don't think the load balancer's done provisioning yet. Oh shit, it is with no listener, so it must not be completely. Oh fuck. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to tear the whole stack down and rebuild it. You know, I bet there's a lesson to be learned here about. Yeah, there's a lesson to be learned here about what resources should go in the same CDK module. I imagine that. I don't know. I'm not really gonna get into the proper way to do this. I just want to get it to work. So start with that. Okay, so we're gonna wait until this. I think we have to wait until this fails. Since I don't. Oh no, I'm gonna have to tear the whole thing down. Okay, want to see something cool you can do with the SDK that you can, with the CDK that you certainly cannot do with Terraform, and that is deleting a stack that is in a situation. Wait until it's done rolling back. Well, I guess you can do it while it's deploying. It's pretty funny. If it's deploying, and for example, like the use case for this is if you deploy like this stack and it deploys the ECS task, right? Because there's an ECS cluster in one of these tabs somewhere, and you know that the task is failing to launch, and it's like dying and kicking off new tasks. Well, with Terraform, I I don't know if I've ever gotten it to successfully work and actually deploy the task with the image already. Like I can deploy this whole stack without ever needing to manually upload anything, which is really cool. But anyway, I don't know if Terraform handles this better. But in the CDK, since you're running CloudFormation, the CloudFormation is just sitting there waiting for ECS, and it waits forever, like 15 minutes I think I waited, and since you can't manually, the CDK won't let you delete it, so you actually have to go into the CloudFormation UI and delete this stack that's in update in progress or whatever it's in, and it lets you do it and it works, which is actually amazing. It's like a quick cancel, and unlike Terraform, where like your state would probably get all messed up because you know it's Terraform. Terraform state's always getting messed up. So I'm not entirely sure why this is taking so long. Oh, there we go. Cleanup in progress. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I'm going to actually just tear it down here. So we're gonna do what's destroy API. I wish it would. this part faster. This might just be that my computer's just really slow, but I think this is considered the synthesize phase of the CDK, and it just takes a while. And this is another cool feature that this can do, which is run, since you're basically just running Python, you can run arbitrary commands. So like, I mean, this is probably a hacky way to do what I'm trying to accomplish, but instead of setting up a complicated like build toolkit, I'm just running subprocess in Python, which again, probably a little hacky. Look at this. Just subprocess run the yarn build. And I'm actually synthesizing through make command. This is probably the most convoluted local build process I've ever built, but I'm synthesizing. I'm not using this yet in the code, but my goal is to synthesize the CloudFormation template for the target accounts. So like when you connect the Fire Drill control panel to your account, I want you to just be able to like click a button in the Fire Drill UI that launches the CloudFormation stack designer. And so all you need to do essentially is like click apply, and it would configure it for you. So like it's easier, even easier to set up, and it already has like the variables configured because it's generating. It's gonna synthesize it in real time. But the SDK doesn't currently support programmatic synthesizing of these CloudFormation templates. It has to be run locally using the command line tool. Like I can't call it from Python, except I'm probably gonna end up doing some sketchy stuff like this. But yeah, so hopefully they fix it. There's an open bug. A lot of people have commented on it, so I'm hopeful for that. And that would be really cool. It'd be like, I mean, imagine the possibilities of that. If you could generate CloudFormation stacks and change sets programmatically using information in your system. Imagine what kind of power SaaS tools could have. I mean, you could have like SaaS. There are a whole class of SaaS products that are essentially leveraging internal Amazon APIs and just making it really easy to manage stuff that could be managed through the AWS console, but is located in different places and would require a lot of clicks. And all these SaaS products are doing are automating that process that you would otherwise be clicking. And a lot of them require some sort of internal configuration. Like you either need to get like an IAM credential or deploy some kind of agent. There's also like other tooling that requires an agent to be deployed, which is like an actual physical server, essentially. And imagine if you could just like generate the CloudFormation for each one, and like all the user would have to do is approve it or give you permission to execute CloudFormation. And then you like create this abstraction of what their account should look like, and they can run it in the way that makes the most sense to them, because CloudFormation is native to Amazon. Now, of course, the benefit of Terraform in that case is you could, in theory, have both your, like all the clouds supported with something like Terraform, whereas this would be specific to Amazon, but I think that'd be really cool. I think there's going to be some cool uses of this when they perfect that specific use case of running it programmatically. Oh my god, this takes forever. Okay. So this is a bummer that's doing that, but it's cool because I actually unintentionally, to some degree, broke a lot of this project into individual modules in the CDK because I had it originally written in Terraform, and I tried to switch to using Fargate from using App Runner, and I don't remember the reason. There was some very specific reason that I had to do that, and because you have to connect to the RDS. The RDS database has to be public if you're using App Runner, which is super annoying. And also, like, it's not the right way to do things. So anyway, when I've been rewriting it, I accidentally made it into these modules. And so one nice thing about this is I don't have to destroy the whole stack, whereas with Terraform, I'm sure there's ways to module. I know you can make modules, but like they're kind of hard to work with sometimes. Whereas this was super easy. It's just like a different file, essentially. And you just run this like CDK command and you say which I specified this name that I gave it. And that's it. So it's really easy. But then this takes forever. Literally forever to do this. You know, I really don't really remember if the RDS problem was the reason. I mean, like, there's just no way. I know that was a problem, but I wonder if they fixed it. Oh, yeah, okay. I remember now. You didn't have to. It can work. They do support VPCs now. You can specify a VPC to launch the app runner task in. And that solves the problem of connecting to that the RDS database has to be public. Now you can have a private RDS database that only exposes to a VPC, and now you can launch app runner tasks into that VPC, which means you can connect to the RDS database. But when you do that, you lose the app runner automatic networking configuration, making it public with like a cert and everything. So you immediately then have to go build out like the route tables and all the VPC and all this networking nonsense. Just like adds a bunch of work and complication. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to I started working on it, and it's so hard to do in Terraform. I feel like I'm going crazy. But like just launching a Fargate service, a Fargate powered REST API is like impossible. It's like unbelievable how much custom work you have to do. And I could be missing something, but I've used Terraform for a long time, and I've always had that problem. It's always like there's 20 things you have to set up. And so, you know, I was looking, and this is when my friend suggested I use the CDK, and I had resisted the urge to listen to him for a very long time. And I finally listened to him this time. So I started working on rewriting it, and I found this magical thing. This is what convinced me to switch. This ECS patterns application load balance Fargate service. It's like literally sets the whole thing up for you. It's like unbelievable how much it takes care of. And like I still ended up creating a custom VPC, but it was so easy. It was like a no-brainer. Look at this, unbelievable. I never had to give anything a CIDR range. That's for anyone who's had to configure networking stuff in Amazon, you'll understand that they kind of require you to know a lot of networking basics to set up things that you have to set up, which is surprising because it seems like it should be the role of the cloud provider to abstract all of that complication. But like as far as I've found, there is no good abstraction on it, and it's just like they randomly need you to give it a CIDR range instead of a, you know, I just want this to connect to my VPC. Like you can't just say like connect to this VPC. It's like, what's the range of the VPC? And I don't even know what that means. Like I don't even know how to enter that. Cause like why would I ever need to know that? Okay, event bus can't be deleted. Oh my god, I forgot about this problem. Okay, can you delete the rest though? I'll take care of the event bus. So one problem is that it has rules, right? Yeah. So it like can't delete it if it has rules, and for some reason it can't delete the rules. So every once in a while we have to just come in here. I love EventBridge, by the way. It's like a really cool software, like a cool concept to begin with, but even cooler than that is it allows you to access the internal, like it's a service that all the Amazon services use to talk to each other. So there are messages flying through event bridge from all these services into this default event bus that you briefly saw here. And if you know what to listen for, which is how we get messages from your account, you can like drive a bunch of really cool things off of events that are just already on this event bus just by listening for them. So like for example, you can listen for like backups running, for example. So let's say you have a monitor in your monitoring tool and you're just listening for these events, you know, that your database backup runs every day or whatever, however often it's supposed to run. Right? I'm assuming it's not running on like you know, RDS backup. It's just a Lambda that then like emits something. Well, this picks up Lambda events. You can emit things onto these event buses, and then you could have your system listening for that, and if it doesn't occur, alert. But like, you don't even have to instrument your app, the thing that's doing this backup, with your observability tool. You're just emitting it to this like native Amazon thing. Or you can like listen for like new ECS, new servers being added to an auto-scaling group, for example. Like maybe you want to listen for that, and if that ever happens, something's going on. And so you want to like send an email, right? You can just use SQS or SNS to send like notifications or text messages. Just really cool. Anyway, this is taking forever, and I wish it would try that again. It's not going to. Oh, that's the cue. You're like, no, I need to wait for it. Oh my god, come on. Can I like, no, can't delete him. We're gonna be here for a second. What is it currently deleting? Oh my god, it needs to even take the database. Oh, one other cool thing about this is the CDK, this database instance. Like, it set the whole thing up, and it even created the default database for me. So now my whole stack deploys and launches, and there's only one secret value that I have to give it that isn't defined here, because the database gets created and the secrets are automatically added to a secrets manager secret. So I never even see the database credentials. The Bastion host is spun up with no access by default, although I wish I could start it with it, because it's like well, maybe I can, you know, I never actually tried. Let's check that. See, it's cool. It's so cool. You just have this Bastion host, ec2.bastion host Linux. Look at that. That's all you have to provide it. That's it. You just give it this. Just give it this module that they came up with, and that's it. Creates the whole thing. It creates the VPCs. You just tell it which database to connect to, or what security group to use, which is the database security group. Unbelievable. It's so great. I want to change this. What is the cheapest EC2 instance type? Mouse tool. Cheap. T4G Nano. Is that a thing? Can I do that? That'd be sweet. Okay, we're gonna try that. I don't know what is going on here. Did the terminal actually just crash? You never can tell. No, it's still running. It just doesn't. So far, so good. Anyway. This is cool too. It just, you point it to a local Docker image and it builds and deploys it for you, and then you can reference it in the code. So you can say like Docker image dot, I don't know, there's like a couple of things you can do. I think I use it somewhere else. Yeah, like the repo URL. So you can basically just say like, here, take this image, like for this task, for our new ECS tasks, use this repo and use this tag from this build. So every time it builds, it pushes a new version and it deploys it. So, you know, honestly, there's probably some argument to be had to move this into a different, the Docker image into a different module, so that it doesn't have to rebuild it. I don't know. I guess I'm going to figure out how that works. Interesting. I don't know where my code coloring went on this. VS Code's gotten all messed up. I don't... Yeah, please. What? Well, please, bring my code coloring back. That's all I ask of you. Okay, I didn't need that. Oh my god. Whatever. Okay, a little bit better. I hope it's just loading. No, I don't need this. I just need Docker IntelliSense, whatever. Is it like a setting? I don't understand. What? Why do I want ISOR? No. Seriously? No. know it's added, but why isn't it getting these things? Is it just still loading all of them? Maybe. Maybe. That's very possible. Okay. Let's see how we're actually doing. Let's be done. I'm tired of waiting for this. Oh my god. It hasn't updated in 5 minutes. What is it deleting still? These things. Such an annoying requirement. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of by Amazon with these NAT gateways. Like, you apparently need 2 NAT gateways because you need 2 availability zones to use RDS. I didn't know that. And they're very expensive, so. Oh, yeah. Maybe we have just moved on. Let's go check. Yeah, nice. Okay. So, let's go back to CloudFront. Bet this will go quick now. Everything else should be easy. Yeah. Yeah. See, all this stuff you're seeing here is the like crazy stuff that I was going to have to set up if I stuck with App Runner. Well, with anything. If I had done anything, like literally just to run a stupid Docker container with like basic security and basic like, you know, separation via networking and like isolation and stuff. Just like the... Oh, right. Just the basics. No, don't retain it. Like, it's like 30 things. Like, all these route tables and these subnets and the VPC and then, like, the stupid inbound security rules and all this stuff. They make you set that up manually. And even and in Terraform, there's... Unless I'm, like, crazy, there's no way to do it in Terraform except to set them all up manually. I've looked at, like, modules that are pre-built and stuff. They always are, like... ridiculous requirements. It's like a lot of stuff to get this like basic thing working. And you know, I just am amazed at how easy it was to do that with CDK. It was super easy. You just kind of said, I want a Fargate service, and it's like, here you go. So I'm glad I don't have to set all that nonsense up. Another really cool thing about the CDK is you basically don't have state problems. The state is managed in CloudFormation. Now, I haven't used it with other people where like remote state and state locks and stuff could be problematic, or as part of like, you know, deploy pipeline with the same issues. But I imagine it would just error. So then the question becomes like, does it retry? Like if you kick off 2 build pipelines, that both are trying to make changes to the same module, does it? Am I pit sweaty or am I imagining that? Oh, that's just a shadow. Okay. Does it like fail? And if it fails, like how do you handle retrying it, right? Like how do you make the second build pipeline wait and run it again? And you know what? Maybe we should give it a little try here. Well, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. We're gonna just see what happens. No, I'm not trying to do this right now, but anyway, the cool thing about not having the state is that you don't have that stupid problem where like you make a change in the console and it's enough of a change to freak Terraform out, and then you have to like delete everything and start again. Yeah, I don't know why we keep using tools that make us do that. But anyway, so what this is showing us here is it's basically only the security changes that it cares about. So like here's the IAM statement changes. So it's showing us all these rules that we're adding, all these different permissions, which it's kind of a strange structure when you look at it in detail. Or when you like see it for the first time, but it kind of starts to make sense after a while, especially when these are all diffs, but since this is all new, it's all green. So the reason there's like a random plus here and everything's green is because sometimes it'll be red, showing you something that you're removing as part of the change. But it's just cool to be able to see what rules are being added in case there's some module or some underlying thing that you didn't know about making it a security change that you don't want. You can see it ahead of time. So you see there's a IAM policy getting here, set up here for the Lambda, and our security group. That's the one I think is the coolest. Is the security group changes because we're not managing any security groups right now. We're basically setting rules that we want, like ingress rules, and the module is taking care of all the security groups that we need to do. So we're just waiting. Be right back. I'm gonna end this stream and maybe we'll hop back on a little bit. Thank y'all for watching.